Garoppolo. Sources say that that high ankle injury, he really has been battling, MJ, since the start of the season, is going to knock him out another month at least. Garoppolo expected to be placed on injured reserve as the team tries to figure out why he continues to have pain and that ankle continues to not only bother him, but negatively affect his performance. So it is going to be Nick Mullins going forward, at least until they can figure out Jimmy Garoppolo's ankle. But of course, that is not all. All-pro tight end George Kittle, one of the best players in the NFL, regardless of position, is also going on injured reserve with what I'm told is a broken bone in his foot. X-rays were initially negative, then he did further tests and discovered the broken bone. His season may in fact be over. Obviously bad news for the 49ers, who did make a trade today. They sent Quan Alexander, a very talented but off-injured linebacker, to the Saints to help bolster New Orleans' defense a little bit.
The Niners' injuries just piling up there. Meantime, their upcoming Thursday night opponents, the Packers, dealing with a positive COVID test, Ian.
A positive COVID test for A.J. Dillon, one of their young running backs and someone who has come on a little bit over the last couple games. Sources say that he tested positive for COVID-19. He is now out for Thursday's game, and that actually may not be all. Just a couple minutes ago, I was told that Jamal Williams, another running back, and Kamal Martin, a linebacker with the Packers, were deemed close contacts with Dillon. If they were deemed high-risk close contacts, which is something the NFL is looking into right now, they will not be able to play Thursday's game. Meanwhile, the status of Aaron Jones still TBD with that calf injury. And that was not all. Marlon Humphrey, the all-pro corner for the Baltimore Ravens, he also tested positive for COVID-19. According to Coach John Harbaugh, he has symptoms, so Humphrey is out the next game. He is now out a minimum of 10 days, and the team will continue to have their meetings virtual going forward.
Oh, Ian, a lot to cover there and a lot to unpack. We're going to check in with you a little later in the show. And while we're on the topic of Steelers and Ravens there, like you mentioned, let's take a look back at that matchup and our game of the week. This
changed the momentum.
We got respect for him, but we don't fear him. And so, we're not surprised by anything that transpires.
The turnovers, I feel, is the reason we lost the game. I put that on me. The start of the game, the first drive, a pick six. Then we drive to the red zone, a fumble. Got to get the ball I could because we know they're dominant up front. And then a pick off the player from the flat, throwing at the mark. Got to clean those up, and I feel we won that game. So that's all to it.
On the winning side, though, Juju Smith-Schuster pleased after the dub, tweeting, "What a battle, proud of how this team fought today. It wasn't pretty, but we found a way to get it done." His fellow receiver, Chase Claypool, losing? Never heard of her. I don't know her. Mooch and Willie on the big stage with me now. As we thought this was a battle down to the end, you guys. I really felt like the Ravens could have won this game, but Willie, that Steelers defense, though.
They did, and they took over. And for whatever reason, the Pittsburgh Steelers have the Ravens' numbers. And you got to do it on three different levels. You got to eliminate the explosive plays in the passing game. I'll show that. You also got to stop the running game with Lamar, and you got to turn this offense because they give you so many looks and they do so many things. But for whatever reason, I'm going to say it again, the Pittsburgh Steelers have gotten this defense down and they know how to attack the Ravens.
Preparation, Mooch.
I'm with you. The Ravens coulda, shoulda, woulda won that game.
They coulda.
Right?
Yeah.
I mean, Willie, this is the first time that the Ravens have lost if they're leading at halftime. They were 22-0, right?
Yep.
And they were up 17-7, and they lost it. But the turnovers. I mean, because the rest of the game, they had twice as many total yards, more first downs, more clock time, the whole thing.
So you're saying numbers lie?
Yeah, well, the 4 turnovers don't lie because, you know what? Look at Spillane. He's going to be like an all-pro guy coming in, replacing Devin Bush. But you know what? Lamar Jackson just has a tough time against this defense. Those are two great defenses. But you know what? Lamar Jackson has thrown 5 interceptions in 2 games against the Steelers.